Welcome to Spring LIB.
So the professor has moved 3.25 kilometers north and then 2.2 kilometers west and then 1.5 kilometers south. Note that they're roughly to scale. As usual, we've chosen rightward to be east, upward to be north. And we'll say eastward, which is rightward direction, is x-axis, and upwards is y-axis, as usual. So the net displacement would be this vector. Now, if we say the first displacement was S1 bar, second displacement is 2 bar, and third displacement is 3 bar, then we can see that S1 bar would be 3.25 j cap because it's 3.25 kilometers long and is in the positive y direction, which is the same as upwards. Now the second vector S2 is in the westward direction, which is negative x direction. Hence, S2 bar would be minus 2.2 I cap. Now S3 bar is downwards, which is negative y direction, and hence would be minus 1.5 j cap. Now, to find the total resultant displacement, we simply add them, S1 plus S2 plus S3. We can call this S bar, the total displacement. If we add these three, we can see that there is only one I component, which would give you minus 2.2 I cap, and then there are two J components, which would give you 3.25 minus 1.5 J cap, which would be minus 2.2 I cap plus 1.75 J cap. Now, if you look at the diagram, you can see that this corresponds pretty properly with our numbers. We know that the x component is supposed to be negative and about 2.2, and the y component is supposed to be positive and about 1.75, and our y component is slightly smaller than our x component in the diagram, which is fine. Now, the magnitude of this vector would be square root of the sums of the squares of the components, which would be 2.2 squared plus 1.75 squared, which turns out to be 2.81 kilometers. Now, if we try to find the angle, it would be tan inverse of y component by x component, which would be 1.75 by minus 2.2. Of course, if we use plus 2.2 here, we get 38.5 degrees, but this angle would be the angle it would make with the negative x-axis. The angle it would make with the positive x-axis would simply be 180 degrees minus 38.5, which is 141.5 degrees, which seems reasonable because this angle is obtuse and seems to be about 141 seems to be the proper one number.